All right, welcome to the Abstract Room. This is a collection of a great variety of abstract creations, and let me show you some different things about this. These three are acrylic pours. I don't really know what that is, but I think they just drip the paint down and move the canvas. And then the things up on the wall here, these are the only photographs in the exhibition. And the way he describes it is dancing with photons, a single photographic exposure capturing the ephemeral atmospheric effects of photons. I've never seen anything like it, and I probably never will. And this is another acrylic pour over here. And then these are a variety of abstracts. I know this artist pretty well, Cherry Agidi. She does very, very beautiful work. That's one of the smallest pieces in the show. Here are some more interesting pieces, going in circles, which is kind of the way a lot of us have felt during the last year. The same thing, this is like a, how would you describe this? Like a vortex. And this reflects our feelings very well. Of outdoor paintings, starting with things by me. I did this one, which was inspired by the sails in Franklin Park Conservatory. And this is just birds behind a window. It started with a rubbing of church windows. And here's another one, just a weird one. This is ravens on top of trees, kind of translucent effect, a little bit like the sails. And then we start with a whole group by Amber Boyson. She does these beautiful, sweet, looks like watercolors. This is fall trees, and I love the fish. I always love fish. And then we have a piece of Calla Lily by Ginny Jamison, and Topiary Gardens. Now, probably those of you who live in Columbus are familiar with the Topiary Gardens. And she has people hidden in there. We were actually out on a day with another artist and her husband. So you can see them kind of hidden away in between the topiaries. Susan Ward has a great sense of humor, and she has rats for pets. You may want to get a close-up of this one. Just hidden very carefully in the flowers are her rat pets. She goes out walking with them, hanging off her umbrella. Very best portraits in the show. Many of you will remember St. Ruth the Dissenter, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her eyes are staring at you as you walk down the hall. Then here we have a collection. I think I put together animal shots here, so there would be some kind of a relationship between them. This is a self-portrait of the artist. At first I thought this was his big fat belly, but it isn't. He's pretty thin. This is just his cat laying on his belly, and this is a feeling of what we were doing when we were self-isolated. The three amigos, of course, are wonderful for children, would look just terrific in a child's bedroom. And a cat, I think this is the same cat as this one. And then we have two fishing pictures. One is very photographic in detail. And this is by Mark Fry, who also did the group over here. But I like it. It's very impressionistic, waiting on stuff. And over here we have the most unique art in the entire show. This is by Ken Mosley, and he lives and works in Columbus. He describes his art as esoteric, spiritual, dark, figurative representation, or surrealism, which is the way I think about it, is very surrealistic. Together, two pieces. One of them is called Heat Wave. This looks like oil painting and paper collage on top of it to give it a three-dimensional look. And I put it together with this piece. It's called Coil. Sharon Putter specializes in doing construction art, but I liked the juxtaposition of the swirls in both of these pieces. And here's a great fun piece, Peaceful Patriot by Kay Nutter. And it's just nice, relaxing, enjoying the day, And here's one by Rick Borgia, Musicians During Pandemic. I love the way it's framed. He's just done a terrific job with that. Two pieces by Ginny Jennison. She did this one on the day before the election. It's called Hold On to Your Hats. And, you know, a breeze is blowing, about to blow away her hat. And I like this one, Give and Take, Seek Solutions. It's about exchanging kindness between people. And speaking of kindness, this is one of mine. This is called Comforting Touch. I've donated this one to the Columbus Historical Society. And some of the art is available as reprints, including this one. Welcome to the room that started everything. Everything in this room is related to COVID-19 and to things that happened around that time. The whole thing was inspired by an artist in the United Kingdom and Great Britain who did portraits of healthcare professionals, donated the originals to them, which is what we did. This exhibition begins with a tribute to Ohio's healthcare team with our governor and Amy Acton, who was director of the Ohio Department of Health at the time. And as we move around the room, there are portraits of respiration specialists, nurses, a pharmacist, a counselor, and a nurse, neuroscience intensive care, first responders, first responder, a nurse who looks like World War II.
We can do it.
We can do it. Yes, that was kind of inspired, that one. And this is John Van Cleve, and she made him look like an everyday hero. And here's a medical social worker. I think this is the only medical social worker that we have. And these are people who've helped out, including somebody who's delivering food. And here's a baby who was born during the pandemic, a speech pathologist. And this is the only hospital safety and security officer. Here's a hospice chaplain and a newborn with a midwife. This one's quite unusual. May Vang is a laundry aide. Here's a funeral director. It's a psychologist, is our only psychologist. And this one, Katie Weinstein, is in patient registration in women's health at Mount Carmel. And here's an anesthesiologist. He's our only MD, as I recall. This is an anonymous weary warrior. Ginny Jennison did this, and she has not been able to identify the actual person, but she keeps trying. A dental assistant. Everybody was working, and a dentist, and an anesthesia resident. Everybody was working during this time, suitably masked. Now that finishes the portraits into a COVID campfire. People are masked, they're sitting outside. They can really take their masks off. Maybe she'll do a sequel to that one. And this is one of mine. I did this early in the COVID lockdowns, and I have in this one alcohol, Lysol, a funny protective glove. And eventually the COVID-19 vaccine came along, so I added that. A whole variety of masks, custom living. You have a mask for every occasion. I love these shirts. This one came from Mike DeWine's website, I believe. Wine with DeWine. It's 2 o'clock somewhere. And this is the Superheroes t-shirt. Not all heroes wear capes. Lovely. This is a beautiful piece by Susan Ward. She was the one who did the rats. It looks like this is done on handmade paper. And you can see the nurse very lightly. These three are very strange. I put them together because they seem to evoke a similar mood. Social Distance is by Alexis Miller, as is this one on the left, Solitude. And then if you want something just a little bit scary, we have Day of the Dead by Amber Boyson. Amber did the watercolors at the beginning of our exhibition, the outdoor watercolors. And over here, we have another story, a COVID outbreak, nothing to play around with. This looks like children are playing with the COVID viruses. One of our guests said it really should be adults playing with the virus and taking all kinds of chances. Finally, when the vaccine came along, you heard this great hurrah around the whole world. We finally have a vaccine. These kind of are a pair, death to COVID. I like this particular one because it's so elusive. My longing, and the eyes are looking kind of sad. There's a mask over, but then there are trees. It looks like she's longing to get out into the world. The last piece that closes out the exhibition is by Ginny Jennison. It's Good Riddance. You can see 2020 in the back, in the rear view mirror. And maybe we could be saying 2021 and maybe even 2022. But hopefully we'll be seeing the end of the COVID-19 virus. And that is the end of our exhibition.